Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about top 10 most powerful mobile processors in 2025. Friends, whenever we buy a smartphone for ourselves, we certainly look for what kind of processor our smartphone has because it's the most important thing in a smartphone. Like the processor determines how faster our mobile will run internet, how smoother it can play games, and how better it can play videos. So it's the most important thing. So we'll be talking about all about the processors in this video, and we're gonna talk about top 10 most powerful processors in 2025. So let's get started. So number 10th on our list is Google Tensor G3 processor. Friends, this processor was launched in October 2023 along with Google Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro smartphones featuring this processor. It's a 4nm processor having 9 cores, 1 higher performance core, 4 mid performance cores, and 4 efficiency cores. If we talk about the benchmark scores of this processor, it performed 1500 points in single core performance and it performed 3200 points on multi-core performance on Geekbench 6 parameter. And friends, if you don't know about the cores of the processor, I would like to tell you about this. Friends, cores in the processor are little brains that determines how to perform a single task. Like if you open an app on your smartphone, this app was actually opened by that core in that processor. Okay, so it acts like a brain of the processor, the small brains. Number 9th on our list is Apple A17 Pro Bionic chipset. Friends, this processor is a 3nm processor having 6 cores, in which 2 performance cores are there and 4 efficiency cores. Friends, this processor came in the market with Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max smartphone. And it's a 3nm processor which makes the smartphone fast enough for the daily tasks. If we talk about the benchmark scores of this processor, then it performed 2700 points in single core performance and 6800 points in multi-core performance. These scores are pretty much good to make a smartphone a gaming smartphone. Number 8 in our list is MediaTek Dimensity 9300 processor. This processor was featured in various smartphones in the market like Vivo X100 and Oppo Find X 5G smartphone. Friends, it's an octa-core processor having 4 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores, and it is built upon a 4nm fabrication process. If we talk about the benchmark scores of this processor, then it performed 2200 points in single core performance and 7200 points in multi-core performance. So MediaTek Dimensity 9300 is a phenomenal processor with better gaming and multitasking works. Number 7th on our list is Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. Friends, it is also a 4nm processor which was used in various flagship smartphones in the market like Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and OnePlus 12 smartphone. Friends, it comes with a very good gaming performances and multitasking. And this is all because of its being a octa-core processor in which there is 1 highest performance core, 5 performance cores, and 2 efficiency cores. Talking about the benchmark scores of this processor, then it performed 2300 points in single core performance and 7300 points in multi-core performance, which makes the processor exceptional in multitasking and gaming performances, and it also supports up to 200 megapixels of camera. Number 6th on our list is again MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus processor. Friends, it is also a 4nm processor having octa-core performances in which 4 efficiency cores are there and 4 performance cores are there. And this processor will be featuring in Realme Neo 7 5G smartphone and Oppo Reno 14 Pro 5G smartphone. Friends, this processor comes with better battery efficiencies than its previous Dimensity 9300 processor, and it also leads in single core performances. Talking about the benchmark scores of this processor, then it performs exceptionally 2400 points in single core performance and 7200 points in multi-core performance. Friends, number 5 on our list is coming from Samsung Exynos 2400 processor. Friends, this processor was featured in S24 and S24 FE smartphones. It is also a processor having 8 cores in which 1 higher performance core is there, 3 performance cores are there, and 4 efficiency cores are there. It is also a 4nm processor and it leads in multi-core performance than Dimensity 9300 Plus. Talking about the benchmark scores of this processor, then it performs 2300 points in single core performance and a very good performance of 7400 points in multi-core performance. Number 4 on our list is Apple A18 chipset. Friends, this processor was used in iPhone 16 smartphone, and why it is fastest than any other processor that we talked about? It is because of it being a 3nm processor. All of the processors that we talked about previously were based on 4nm fabrication process, but Apple A18 is first time 3nm processor in iPhone 16 smartphone, and the lesser the fabrication process, faster the processor will be. So Apple Apple A18 processor becomes the fastest than any other processor that we talked about. Friends, it's a hexa-core processor having 2 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores. Talking about the benchmark scores of this processor, then it performs 2900 points in single core performance and 7400 points in multi-core performance. Number 3 on our list is Apple A18 Pro Bionic chipset. Friends, it is also a 3nm processor and it also has hexa-core performances in which 2 performance cores are there and 4 efficiency cores are there. This processor was used in Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max smartphone, and by the name itself it looks like faster than Apple A18 chipset. This is because the cores in this processor runs at the higher clock speed than A18 processor. Talking about the benchmark scores of this processor, then it performed 3200 points in single core performance and 8000 points in multi-core performance on Geekbench 6 parameter, and this is because it becomes best ever mobile processor ever built by Apple. Number 2nd on our list is MediaTek Dimensity 9400 processor. Friends, this is the fastest processor ever built by MediaTek. It is also based on 3nm fabrication process and it supports up to 320 megapixels of camera. It is an octa-core processor having one highest performance core which is running at 3.9 GHz of clock speed. 3 performance cores are there and 4 efficiency cores are there. Talking about the benchmark scores of this processor, then it performed 3000 points in single core performance and an exceptional 8600 points in multi-core performance. Realme GT7 Pro smartphone will be featuring this processor, MediaTek Dimensity 9400. And number 1 processor on our list is Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. Friends, it is also an octa-core processor, but the difference is that all the cores in this processor are running at a highest clock speed of 4.3 GHz. Out of 8 cores, it has 2 highest performance cores and 6 performance cores are there. Friends, OnePlus 13 series smartphones are launched with this processor, and Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is also rumored to be launched with this processor. Talking about the benchmark scores of this processor, then it performs exceptionally 3300 points in single core performance and a phenomenal 9800 points in multi-core performance. It supports up to 320 megapixels of camera and a phenomenal multitasking and gaming performance, and this is why it becomes the number 1 smartphone ever built by Qualcomm, and it also becomes the best ever mobile processor ever built. So friends, I would like to know which mobile processor brands do you like. Please let me know in the comments, and that's all for this video. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.